I think about the word homelessness, a lot of different images come to mind. I think a lot of the standard words are addiction, abuse, neglect.
Or they're being lazy and they aren't trying to help themselves.
You kind of wonder what they're thinking as far as what kind of life that is. Why would you want to live like that?
Someone lying on a bench that is dirty and is hungry.
I never know if those are the people that try to take advantage or they actually are in need. And so personally, I am very torn.
You say, well, go get a job or go do this. It's so easy to just say something or judge someone.
Helpless is probably the word that comes to mind when you see them standing on the side of the street.
I think about myself. I could be in that situation. Sometimes I think, why are they there? What's the root cause?
You might be somebody who's very successful and working really hard, and maybe your health changed and left you unable to work, and you can't control that.
A lot of time people just need help for a couple months.
That person that comes through the door that might be looking for help, this may be their very first attempt at that. And it's hard.
Walking out of a homeless shelter and just being a fresh start, where do you start? As far as feeding myself, clothing myself, getting back into the workforce.
What you have to do, I think, as a caring society, is try to find a way to remove those barriers and those impediments.
We need the transitional housing to help people not to fall back into homelessness.
And then there's more confidence there, which then relates to, I'm gonna go out, look for a job, my kids are in school, I'm a productive citizen in our town that's paying taxes. So that's all that ripple effect.
Just last year I was arrested for panhandling because I was on the corner with the sign, nowhere to go. I mean, I didn't have nothing. All I had was the clothes on my back.
When I first met Dewayne, which was about a year ago, he was sleeping outside just about every night. On the nights that he was sleeping inside, he was in a shelter. He was spending a lot of time in detox, a lot of time in the emergency room, a lot of time in ambulances.
I've been sleeping under the bridge down there next to Petro, the one they just built the dock at. I was homeless. I had to walk everywhere. I'd get up at like 4 a.m. because I'd have to walk an hour and a half to be at Labor Master by 5:30 to try to get work. Some nights I'd stay at the homeless shelter, some nights I'd sleep outside. I didn't have a driver's license. Didn't really have any hope. I'd given up. Lisa was my significant other. I mean, she was different about anybody I've ever been with. She was my best friend and everything. We relapsed one time over Thanksgiving. We were sitting there having some drinks. Child Services came in, called the police. Police came, handcuffed us, charged us with felony child neglect, took the kid away. Lisa had a heart attack in the jail cell. They brought her body back, but she was brain dead. The doctor said she died from broken heart syndrome. Once you lose everything, you lose hope. I mean, one little relapse for 3 days and I lost my kid over it. And really, I want my son back. That's the most important thing. I got out of jail and I went on a bad drunk. I'd pass out on the sidewalk and wake up in the emergency room. She'd be standing over me.
When I picked him off of the street a few times, where he just responded with this, I can't believe that you came here. And that's what people need. They need connection to the community. They need just somebody that's going to be there. This program started about just over a year ago. It's a new philosophy in the community. Let's see why there is still this group of people that hasn't been successful in maintaining housing and try something different. He has a lot of goals. He decided that it was time for him to turn his life around. He wants to be able to make good money and support himself.
And the problem with being homeless, you don't have nowhere to keep your stuff. So if you have anything you want, you've got to keep it with you at all times. So you're always dragging all this crap around. You go straight on the job site and oh, it's another one of them homeless people. I've heard other people say that homeless people don't work. So right off the bat, you're labeled as a sorry worker just because you don't want to lose your stuff. It makes for a bad day at work because they treat you differently. Just having a home base just to put your stuff up so you can go start living to try to get a life back, I mean, is a big help.
He's able to think about what happens next. His basic needs are met, and so he can kind of move up and pursue some other things.
I mean, like with Amber's organization, they're going to get you housing. I mean, they get in the car, let's go look at places. We're serious. It helps a lot having somebody that believes in you, you know?
He lost everything, and he was able to reframe it in his own way and figure out how he's going to continue to strive as a person and move forward.
Doing everything I can to get my kid back. Completed treatment, I took parenting classes, got a full-time job. I mean, if you mean inspiration, there's so many times I pull my phone out and look at his pictures or video I do have. I imagine me and him over in Florida playing. When he's a little bigger, going to the park. Us going and playing tennis and football, baseball, going camping with him. It was just how good it felt to come home from work and him come running up and want me to pick him up and hold him. I mean, most people, they talk about what they want to do, but there's no reason you can't just do it, you know? So, I mean, I'm going to go back to school and get my law degree.
He was accepted into a 2-year college, and he'll be doing his liberal studies there, and then transferring once he's complete.
In half a year, look how far I've came. It all started from housing, you know, home base. You don't think you'd ever have a place to live or a car or your license back, but once you got it, you're going to do everything you can do not to lose it. No way I'd go back to that. And on top of that, I have Amber. She's got my back.
Changing the stereotypes is going to be dependent upon people getting involved, because all of a sudden it's not just homeless people, right? It's Paul, it's Frank, it's Mary, it's these people that you know, and when you make those connections, it becomes much more real.
First place it starts is being sympathetic towards them and see yourself in their position. You may not be in it at the time. You don't know what tomorrow brings.
You have so much to offer this world when you're only given that opportunity, but somebody has to reach out for you to help you.
It goes back to people need to take care of people, and people have to have a want and desire to make a change. Otherwise, nothing will ever change.
I think people need just to open their minds a little bit more and kind of try to see the other side.
People deserve the chance to improve. They deserve the chance to be better than they were yesterday. And so to have access to programs or support to get them to the programs they need is one of the things United Way does very well.
When you give to United Way, you reduce hunger and homelessness and help lift people out of poverty. You also prepare students to be successful and help people to be independent. Those are all great goals that any community should want to achieve.
If we work hard to accomplish things in our community that benefit people around us, then we have a better town. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Giving back is going to make it so much stronger, and giving people pride because it's their community, it's your community, it's our community.
All of us want to be an immediate help, but I think sometimes it's not possible, but there are ways we can do it.
The United Way is such a great example of a force for good, because it's not only a small financial donation by many, but it's also the concept and the idea of improving the lives in the community.
I am a force for good.
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 Be a force for good.
Be a force for good.
Only when we work together are we a force for good.